Now, for our first card, we have the Hermit card. This is Virgo. So, you guys are definitely going within. You're a bit introspective right now. Hopefully, you guys aren't completely isolating yourself. But you're definitely going within to listen to the inner voice. You're seeking wise guidance to life's issues and problems you're going through right now. But you're going within for the answers, and this is exactly where we need to be. Just don't get stuck in there for too long, okay? I don't want you guys to over-isolate. That can be a bit of an issue at times. Now, here we have the moon in the reverse position, and this is our circumstances card. So, my general feeling here is that a deception may have been revealed or will be revealed soon. Now, this could also indicate that perhaps you were going through a very emotional time and things may be starting to calm down. Now, first and foremost, this card, anytime it pops out, I constantly want to remind everyone to please pay attention to your dreams. Okay? Because we can have psychic information come through our dreams. And some of you may be having a bit of some restless sleeping issues right now. Yeah. Now, typically I would say about 50 different things, but I'm going to wait till I clarify. But right now, my general feeling with this card and the position that it's in, I'm feeling like a deception is going to be exposed. Okay, this is the focus card. And here we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse position. So, this is about, when it's in the upright position, we make a mental prison, essentially, through our fears. When it's in the reverse position, this indicates that we are finally coming out of our mental prison. We've been imprisoned by our fears, and we're saying no more. I'm not going to let fear control me or my decision-making process anymore. A lot of times, you may end up feeling very indecisive as far as which way should I go, how should I deal with this, and then fear creeps in and it can really make it so much worse, and then it can make you so scared to where you don't even want to move or make a decision because you don't know if it's going to be the right way to go. But with in the reverse position, you are now out of that mental hell. You've been released, but see, she's not really stuck here. She actually puts herself in this circle of swords and blindfolded. She does this on her own. She could actually get up and walk out of those swords at any given moment. She doesn't have to stay confined there, but that's what fear can do to you, is it can keep you stuck in the same spot. But, she's also choosing to go within her mind to figure things out. Okay, this is the card position of your recent past or the energy that is currently passing and moving away from you. Now here we have the Three of Cups in the reverse position. So, this can indicate that perhaps maybe you had a falling out with a friend, or perhaps you had a falling out with a romantic relationship, a marriage, and it could have even been due to a third party situation. And for some of you, this may resonate, but for a few of you, this could actually have been a friend that intervened in your relationship, hence the third party. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. When it's in the upright position, it's all about celebration, dancing, having a good time with friends. Whoa, not so much when we turn it around, though. It's quite the opposite. Not a reason to celebrate. Now, something I need to mention, as this may resonate with a few of you, this can indicate an abusive type of situation. So, whomever you have cut ties with, or you did cut ties with, or you may still be in the process of cutting ties with someone, this situation was abusive. It wasn't a positive situation. It unfortunately, it needed to go anyway. But yeah, this is not so hot. And this can also indicate perhaps some overindulgence, especially with alcohol. So you do need to be careful not to overindulge. Situations like this can make us want to try to numb the pain, and that's not the best way to go. It's okay to do it, here and there. We just don't want to be doing it every day, every night. So, do be cautious if you have been overindulging, within alcohol or even drugs. Be careful. Now, this is the recent past, so. But, yeah, I mean, this is I'm sorry, this is pretty crappy. Wow. I mean, ugh. Like I said, I feel for some of you, this is actually a pretty abusive situation. It needed to go anyway. But, gossip can come up with this card too, so you really got to be careful. And last month, for January, gossip was a potential of the final outcome for last month as well. It was either somebody's going to gossip about you or somebody's trying to start problems for you. But see, this is indicating gossip as well. So, and if you have experienced gossip, it might have come through a woman. Doesn't have to be a woman, okay? But it could have come through a woman. Just throwing that out there for a few of you. That'll resonate. Okay. Here we have the World. This is the card position of your present, the here and the now energy. The World is a beautiful card. This is about us essentially having full attainment of our lessons, and we receive good karma here. We've been through our lessons, and we've made it through. And we get a karmic reward here with the World. So pretty much any type of desire or goal you have under the World, it can be yours. It can be yours. Because you have dealt with a karmic situation and you made it through it. And now the universe is, ready to reward you. We're going to clarify because I want to see how all of this works out here. Now this is the card position of near future. Here we have the King of Cups in the reverse position. So when the king is in the reverse position, he's allowing his emotions to think for him. That doesn't always turn out well. But there is a reason why, because the King of Cups, he is, out of all the court cards for the cups, the king is the most detached emotionally. He has very strong emotions, but he is capable of detaching from them to get his things done without being overly emotional. But when the card is reversed, he cannot help but give in completely to his emotions because there's emotional situations taking place. So for some of you, your home life could be an absolute hot mess right now. You know, there could even be a bit of, it may even feel a bit volatile. You know, this could be within the home life. This could also be within your job, your work. It could also be within a friendship, but home is what sticks out for me the most. But you'll know where this fits for you in your life. Wherever you're extremely emotional, it's because things are just a hot mess for you in that particular area, and that's what's making you so emotional. And it's also causing you to go within to find the answers. And perhaps this deception being revealed, deception, gossip, third party situation, yeah, you're going to be feeling a bit overly emotional. No one would blame you. But you know, with the King of Cups in the reverse position, you're kind of being asked to rise up and face an emotional issue with maturity. But you know, there's just a sense of, I don't want to. I'm not ready. And this can make you feel a bit moody and detached. It can make you want to isolate yourself more because you're so emotional. And well, as Virgo, Virgo's emotions are controlled. We have emotions, but they are controlled. We keep them controlled. We don't want to be showing everybody just how we feel with every single thing in our life, on public display. That's not how Virgo energy works. We control our emotions and we'll let our emotional guard down in the proper time and place. But when we have this, it's making us act overly emotional. But we've been through a very emotional, volatile type of situation. So I totally understand. Like I said, no judgment on my part. Okay, this is the attitude card. And here we have the Page of Coins in the reverse position. So this can indicate that perhaps you may be receiving some bad news in regards to financial matters, or maybe in regards to, higher education. Or this could even be news about your child and perhaps, your child's not done so hot at school. Maybe they're not going to graduate on time. That'll resonate with a few of you. But in general, this can indicate that perhaps maybe we may be reacting a bit immature in regards to the situation that has taken place. But like I said, I totally understand why. I mean, this is pretty rough. I mean, this card here is a blessing, absolutely, but I totally understand why you guys would be super emotional. Especially here. Wow. Okay. This is how other people would see you. And here we have the star in the reversed position. So, when the star's in the reversed position, we may be feeling a bit hopeless. Yeah, hopeless. Depressed. And sometimes this can indicate that we're over-isolating as well. Do be careful of that. Fear can also get the upper hand on you here with this card. You want to be careful. Because typically something that we wanted to work out or something that we've wished for doesn't come, or, or it doesn't work out. And then it leaves us feeling crushed. And it's like, okay, I'm never going to get what I wished for. I'm never going to get what I wanted. So it can just kind of turn to hopelessness, like it's a lost cause, why bother? But this can also be indicating that perhaps some of you are a bit anxiety-ridden right now. And this can indicate anxiety disorder, and depression. So I don't want you guys to get stuck in this for long. I totally understand being upset. I do. And the anxiety, I understand it all. I really do. I just don't want you guys to isolate yourselves to the point of being in the freaking abyss of depression, because it's so much harder to get out. Yeah, so I said I don't want you guys to over-isolate. I totally understand going within. It is absolutely necessary for us. But don't get stuck, okay? Don't allow yourself to be stuck in isolation. And things will get better, okay? I know it don't seem like it in the moment, but they will get better. Don't lose your hope, okay? And this can also indicate that perhaps you have an ability that is maybe hidden, or maybe you know about it and you just haven't done anything to make your ability better. Maybe you haven't nurtured it. Maybe you've denied it altogether. And the star in reverse is basically trying to let you know that if you have this ability, if you're aware of having a hidden ability, well, then it's not hidden. If you've denied an ability that you have, the star wants you to start working on it, because it can benefit you. And for those of you that don't know about any particular abilities that you're not using, well, then that might be something to think on momentarily, because the star is definitely indicating that there is an ability, and it would probably be more of a creative type of ability that you have. But pull yourself out of this depression, this funk, this anxiety-ridden, and woe is me, You guys are just feeling a bit pessimistic. I get it. Okay, this is the position of hopes and fears. Here we have the Queen of Cups. So, to me, I'm going to say this is a hope, because I think that given the situation that you guys have been through, I think you guys are desiring a happy family, a happy marriage. You want to be able to have that happiness. And you're just tired of the bullshit. Excuse my French, but it is what it is. You guys are ready to have happiness. You don't want to be going through situations like this that make you feel overly emotional, where you feel like you're out of control. It makes you completely feel off balance. And you're basically saying, no, I want this. Now for our final outcome card, we get the Tower. So this is the unexpected rude awakening. Although, in my opinion, I feel like it's not so unexpected, but I feel like for some of you, it will be unexpected. Now, when we have the Tower, when it first starts making its way into your life, this situation is a situation that is very sudden. It is very unexpected. You can almost feel completely blindsided by the situation, okay? It literally feels like it comes from left field and you don't see it coming. And boom, it happens. And a lot of times when we go through this, it can be experienced as negative in the beginning. But see, the Tower card is always a blessing in disguise. Because the Tower card comes in to basically break down a situation or a structure that is simply not working for us anymore. And this is being done to force us to move in a different direction. Like, okay, you can't keep trying to fix this because it's done. Now we got to move in a different direction. But this is also a card that clears the slate, and so does the moon. Yeah. So, and I mean, look, we got whatever goals or desires we have can be ours. But I feel like you got to get through this Tower situation. But you need to keep the faith, okay? Because with the Star in the reverse position, you're losing faith. But I need you to keep the faith, okay? Because you really can have what you want. Granted, we got to go through this situation first. But it's going to lead you to something much, much better. Like I said, it may be negative at first, but it's going to lead you to a much better path. And you wouldn't have been able to get onto the much better path if you had not gone through this Tower type situation. And the Tower, I mean, so many different types of things could happen. I could literally sit here and probably name different scenarios for about an hour. So, but to the point, you know, this will be a very shocking change. It comes in and it breaks down a structure or a situation that we've been in so that we can move forward. Now, for a few of you that perhaps are stuck in a situation and you feel like there is no way out, the Tower is showing up to say, hey, your time is coming. And this situation is going to allow you to get out, to escape a certain situation that you need to escape. But just remember, unexpected, sudden, unexpected. Now, for the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Coins, which, whew, I love this card. This is actually our self-employment card, but this is also our card of self-sufficiency. This is a card of being financially self-sufficient. We can take care of ourselves. We can take care of our family. We make good investments. Yeah. I mean, I love this card. And for some of you, this may indicate that perhaps maybe you may feel like focusing on your financial security as opposed to your emotional life right now. And you know, that could be a welcome distraction for some of you. And for those of you who may be going through the transitioning and needing to find another job, Well, this card right here is an absolute blessing to show up. So this would definitely indicate that wherever your next job comes in at, it's going to be very good financial wise. It's going to allow you to be financially independent. Okay, let's clarify. I am ready for more details. Okay, yep. Okay. Wow. Three of Cups in the reverse. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. Yeah. Clearly that situation has been pretty hardcore. We've done had it pop out twice now. Oh wow. Okay. Don't want to get too lost in the fields there. Okay, we clarify our Hermit and we get the Chariot. Now the Chariot is all about victory through adversity. So you know what? Whomever may be trying to cause an issue for you or make your life miserable, which for a lot of you is probably related to a relationship or from someone that you love. But you know what? You gonna prosper no matter what they throw at you. Victory through adversity. You can make it through that adversity. Don't let it get you down. Go within and you will see. You can make it. You will make it through. This card also bestows good health and vitality for us. It gives us the physical stamina and the determination to go after our goals. It's actually a very beautiful card. I just absolutely love it. And just victory through adversity. Well, amen. I'm sorry, but that sounds about right. Because clearly you guys have been through plenty of adversity. But you're going to emerge victorious. So don't get too depressed, okay? Yes, things happen. But you just got to keep on trucking. Don't let it bring you down too much, okay? You got to keep going after those goals. Because when one door closes, another opens. Always. And I feel like if a door closes, then it was meant to close, okay? It just simply was not any good for us. And that door closes to push us to move in another direction, which ends up benefiting us later on. But, you know, we don't feel that in the moment. It takes us going through it before we realize. But everything happens for a reason. Okay. Now we clarify our circumstances card, which is the moon in the reverse position. And as I stated, I feel that for most of you, this is about a deception coming to light. And we get the Hanging Man when we clarify. So the Hanging Man is going into contemplation because he's ready for a new direction. He's fed up. He's ready for a new direction. And he wants this new direction to have a higher purpose, a higher meaning. And so he's considering making sacrifices. He's considering making sacrifices that he's not ever made. Now, this is the Neptune card, so this is the opposition of Virgo, the opposite of Virgo. Whereas with Virgo energy, we love to selflessly serve and be of service to others, but we have to do so with discrimination. We have to figure out who is deserving of our help, who's deserving of our energy. Because if we don't do so, then we can fall back to Pisces, where we are constantly sacrificing ourselves. And why do you want to give your energy to something that, may or may not help someone? For instance, this could be like someone coming to you that wants help. They want your good advice, and you give it to them, and yet they don't listen. That's a waste of your energy. So then, Virgo, we have that need to discriminate. Who is actually going to benefit from our help? Who's going to take our advice? Who's really going to take this seriously? Sorry, I'm kind of going off on a rant here, but we need to know the differences. If you don't know, now you know. Now, we are contemplating making a change. We are contemplating making these sacrifices, but these sacrifices will lead to a much better path. And it will lead us down a path where we will find things that are of a higher value. They have a higher purpose. For instance, you may want a love relationship. Maybe you want to have a love relationship that, involves a spiritual bond. Spiritual. This is a very spiritual card here. And you see, he actually puts himself up on this device. Typically, it's a cross when we look at the typical Rider-Waite deck, but he has put himself up here by his own choice, because he's going within to contemplate all these changes that he's going to make. But these choices will benefit you long term. So there will be a sacrifice that you make, because you will be leaving what is so familiar to you behind, and you're going to be going into the unknown. So there is a sacrifice as far as walking away from, situations that you're very familiar with, or, people that you're very familiar with, and you're walking away from them. But it's for the best. Okay, this was our focus card, and here we have our Eight of Swords in the reverse position. This is us finally being released from our mental prison that our fears had created, and now we're able to make a decision. And perhaps some of you, your decisions that you have to make regard your family happiness. So most definitely, I feel that your choice that you have to make, it's all about your family happiness, family contentment, your marriage, your long-term relationship, or even your children, or combining all of them. Okay, so this was the card position of recent past, or the energy that is currently passing. And here we had the Three of Cups in the reverse position. So this can indicate issues within a friendship or a relationship. This can involve gossiping. This can also involve potentially, maybe even you might have said something, or maybe you went too far. Maybe you have to apologize to someone. But, you can be on the receiving end or the giving end of this. But I also did state that for some of you, I feel that, this could be a very abusive type of situation in third-party situations. We clarify, we get the Two of Cups in the reverse position. So this is definitely indicating a relationship, a close relationship, whether it be a marriage or a romantic relationship. And this can even be a friendship, like a very long-term friendship where you had a very close, special connection with this friend. It could be completely platonic, but, it was a really strong bond to this person. But this partnership, this relationship, was completely out of balance. The give was not equal to the take. It's like one partner is doing more and the other is just, well, frankly, doing nothing. Just doing the taking. And so things are not equal, so they're not right. Not that it means that it's absolutely cursed beyond a shadow of a doubt. But the key is that you would have to truly communicate, and both parties would have to be willing to communicate honestly and directly. And both parties would have to want to work this out. As it sits right now, I don't think that this particular situation is going to work out. But it is up to you guys. With every decision you make, these cards can turn. We have free will. So I can lay out 100 different cards here. And it doesn't matter because you have free will. Yes, some of these things will happen to you. But for instance, if we change one thing, we can completely change our near future or change our, final outcome by simply changing one small thing. Perhaps how we react to situations, or changing our attitude in regards to certain situations. Which is why I say it's not necessarily doomed, but you would have to truly want to make it work, and you would have to be willing to communicate directly, openly, honestly. And both parties would have to be willing to do so to make it work. It takes two to make it work, so both parties would have to be willing to do it. But, if you tried, then you did your part. That's the great thing about our lives, is we have free will. Depends on what school of thought you come from. Some people believe everything is fated. Some people believe only certain things are fated, and some people are just, life is life. Whatever happens to us, happens to us. So, everybody comes from a different school of thought, and that is okay. Okay, this is the card of the here, the now, the present. We have the world. This is indicating that we literally have this karmic reward because we have gone through a bit of a nasty situation here. But the universe is ready to reward you to where you can have just about any goal or wish that you desire. Whether you desire a new job or a new home or, a new relationship, whatever it is for you, you can have it. But we clarify and we get the Magician in the reverse position. So this indicates that perhaps some of you, even though you have this major blessing, maybe you're just not going after it. Maybe you don't feel like it. Maybe you don't have the energy to go after it. Maybe you just don't care. Maybe you're, not that you don't care, but maybe you're consumed by anxiety or depression, being stuck in the moment. And so perhaps, you're just not going after it. Maybe you have a lack of enthusiasm. Yeah, very possible. And sometimes this can indicate that perhaps you just do as little as possible to get you by. And so then you don't produce near as good of work as you normally could have. Maybe there's a lack of self-confidence. Yeah, maybe there's a lack of self-confidence here. But see, this is why I initially brought up the whole free will to change, because I want you guys to change this magician around, okay? And you can do it. You can do it. Absolutely can. I know that these situations are definitely emotionally draining, and it's major changes. I mean, it's a huge change. And I know it's emotional. It's a very emotional situation, but I don't want it to get the better of you. I want you guys to try to focus on money rather than the relationship that got messed up. Focus on your goals, focus on your dreams, focus on your money, whatever you have to. Don't get yourself lost in depression and fear, okay? Because you do have the ability to say, you know what, I'm not going to let it drag me down. I'm going to keep going. Matter of fact, I'm going to take this and I'm going to have it make me stronger instead of making me weaker. I'm not going to let it take me down. I'm going to rise up and I'm going to fight back. Now, I don't mean physically fight. I mean rise up and fight back against the situation as far as move forward. Don't let it keep you in the past or keep you in the moment. Know that you have the ability to manifest whatever you want. I mean, these are two amazingly powerful cards together here. But if you're stuck allowing fear to control you and allowing your emotions to take over, it can rob you of this. And I don't want you guys to be robbed of it. So, I know it's hard, but I just want you guys to try to put your focus towards, achieving a goal or a dream. That way you don't isolate yourself too much and don't get too depressed, okay? I understand anxiety, but access this magician. I mean, don't let it go to waste. Oh, we don't want to let that go to waste. Okay, this was the card of the near future. We had the King of Cups. And this is the whole emotionally volatile type of situation, probably within the home. But this could also be within a relationship, within a friendship. This could even be taking place at, work. But my feel is for most of you that this is taking place within the home. The relationship part of your life and your home life. That's where this is taking place. You're being asked to stand, to rise up and face an emotional situation with maturity. But this king's very moody. He's been through a loss. I mean, this is definitely indicating a loss. And it's an emotional loss. And we clarify and we get the Strength card in the reverse position. So this is indicating that fear is paralyzing you. Fear is in control. Which, oddly enough, our focus card is about being released from the mental prison that our fears have created. And here comes our near future, and it shows, the fear still got a hold of us. So just know that the whole focus, the whole focal point of this reading is that you need to release yourself from that fear, because that fear is creating a mental prison. And you don't want to be in a mental prison. Okay? That's not where we want to be. Fear paralyzes us. And then we can't make decisions. And then if we do make a decision and it's based off of fear, it's not going to be a good decision. Because fear is in control, not our intellect. Yeah. You guys got to exercise this fear like it's a damn demon, okay? Tell it to get the hell out. You cannot reside within my mind anymore. You must go, fear. Don't let the fear get the better of you. I know you're emotional, but don't let fear keep you on a hamster wheel. Okay? Whew. Okay, this was the card of your attitude. We have our page of coins in the reverse position. So this could be indicating that we're receiving, maybe we feel like we're going to receive bad news. Because I feel like you guys are a bit pessimistic right now, but I totally understand. Because you guys have been through a loss. I mean, I'm Virgo too, so I know all about the pessimistic attitude that can creep in from time to time. It sucks. But yes, maybe you guys are just being pessimistic and you're just expecting, what now? What else is falling apart? And for some of you, you may receive, some not so great news in regards to money or in regards to, education or higher education. But my overall feeling is you guys are just being pessimistic and looking at it like, what's next? What disaster awaits me now? We clarify, we get the Nine of Wands in the reverse position. So this is indicating that you feel that you've been beat down mentally, physically. You feel like you just can't defend yourself anymore. You feel like you're just at the end of your rope. And you really need to be careful here, because under this type of energy, you can actually make yourself ill. And you don't want to do that, okay? Clearly you've been involved in battles, and these battles have just wore you out. And sometimes there can be a feeling of, should I even keep fighting? Is it even worth it? Well, yeah, it is worth it, This is the attitude position, so I completely understand where you guys are at, but I want you guys to pull out of that, because this is very negative in nature. But like I said, I totally understand. But I want you guys to rise up. Come on, rise up, Virgos. don't let this keep you down. Well, it's okay to, go within, isolate a little bit, for a little while, not, don't take too long. Grieve your loss. Do what you have to do. But I don't want you getting caught up in depression. I don't want you thinking that, it's not worth it. Yes, a certain situation in your life may not be worth any more of your energy. So simply give in, make that sacrifice, and move forward. And then you will find that your health returns to a much better place. Physical health and mental health. Okay, this is the card position of how other people see you. Here we had this star in the reverse position. And this is also about hidden abilities, which, the magician is also about hidden abilities as well. So, yeah. Some of you definitely have some hidden abilities that you don't know about and that you need to go within to investigate a little bit. Yeah. But this is also the card of feeling hopeless. Feeling like I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get my wish. Anxiety-ridden. Depressed. Hopeless. This is a card where your faith is being tested, okay? And you need to have unshakable faith because things will get better. You can't stay in the same place. The one thing you can count on in life that is an absolute permanent thing is change. Things are always changing, okay? That's the one thing you can count on. We just need to go with the flow. Now, I know that's easier said than done, so, But we need to go with the flow because changes, they happen. But we need to embrace the changes when they do happen, even though it's not easy. But things happen for a reason because we're being pushed to something better, even though we don't see it when we're in the moment because we're too focused on the problem at hand. Now we clarify, we have the Page of Swords. So this could be a younger person in your life. Could be. And if so, this person would be very inquisitive. They could also be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. They don't have to be, but they would definitely be very inquisitive. Now, the Page of Swords, this can be a card of third-party information. Receiving information through a third party, secret information at that. And I'm sure the gossip probably comes from a person that was younger than you. Because this is where I feel like we're going back to last month, excuse me. Because I'm pretty sure this card came out for last month, Page of Swords. Yeah. But the Page of Swords is basically asking us to look deeper. There's more than meets the eye about a certain situation. Like, there's more going on than what is on the surface. And another way this could be explained is this type of energy could be like, don't tell mom, but, So it's kind of like a flight away from a dishonorable act. And someone wants to try to conceal it. But see, there is a great need to communicate, to speak with the Page of Swords. So the truth always comes out. And so maybe you get the truth and it makes you feel depressed. Maybe it makes you feel full of anxiety. Maybe it really does test your faith. Maybe it makes you feel like things are just hopeless, they're pointless. Okay, this was hopes or fears. We had our Queen of Cups. We clarify, we get the Wheel of Fortune. So, yeah, I feel that most of you guys are ready for a lucky cycle. You're ready for that relationship that is genuine. And you're ready for real love. You're ready for true love. You're ready to, to nurture and be nurtured. And the Wheel of Fortune, hey, lucky cycle has begun. We get what we want. We get what we wish for. So this is definitely a hope. And she's also very emotionally balanced. She's emotional, but she's balanced when she's in the upright position. And so I could definitely see this being a hope. Okay, here we had our Tower card. And this is our final outcome card. This is our unexpected, sudden, rude awakening. It's life-changing. It's a life-changing card. It shifts your direction to where you may decide that you're going to rebuild, but it tears down an existing structure. So it can tear down a structure, it can tear down an existing relationship, friendship, partnership. But it's being torn down because it wasn't going to serve you in the future. It's kind of like it was built on sand instead of, firm ground, firm earth. Yeah. But ultimately, this is a blessing in disguise. It may not feel that way, but it is. It's a blessing in disguise. Because it does help us get released from situations that either we couldn't get out of on our own, or sometimes, we've been so stuck thinking, well, this is where I need to be. But then the Tower can show you need to be over here. You need to do this. This situation's not meant for you. In some situations you can rebuild if that's what you truly desire, but some situations with the Tower card are just going to basically say, okay, boom, it's done. But it clears the slate. So then you can get a new start and your karmic lessons are paid. And so you can access the karmic reward that is being offered to you. But you need to go after it. You can't be pessimistic about it. Find your enthusiasm. But we clarify and we get the King of Swords. So, the King of Swords, he can actually be a judge, okay? A judge for the government, law. So this is always a possibility that perhaps for some of you, this unexpected rude awakening could result in perhaps a lawsuit. Or where you end up in court. For some of you, you may end up, getting divorced. Some of you might be dealing with issues related to your home or custody of your children. But overall, you need to know that if this happens to be you and you end up in a court type of situation, the King of Swords is a good card to have because he is honest and he is fair in his assessments. He will make sure that the right decision is made. Things will be done in a equal, proper way. So he's not going to be biased, okay? He's going to weigh things out very carefully before he makes his decision. This can also indicate a lawyer as well. This can also indicate a counselor. But the King of Swords, you should also look at it as not only could he be a judge and handing out judgments within a court of law or government, but he could be a judge for karma. So, for some of you, if this situation happens to be brought on by all this third party and then the gossip and maybe a potentially abusive situation and, you know, all of that and the deception, the King of Swords, he is going to set things right for you. So you may not end up in a literal lawsuit, but for those of you who don't, trust me, the King of Swords has got your back, and he's saying, don't worry. Those who need their karma will get it. They will receive their karma. They did you wrong. The King of Swords will take care of them. This is not a man that you want to mess with. Definitely not a man you want to mess with, because he will make things right. So you want to be on his good side if you get my drift. You want to be on that good side. Yeah. But you know, this man, he's very analytical. He's a thinker. So that's very similar to Virgo. So some of you definitely may be analyzing this situation when it occurs. But just know that your karma is going to be clear. And if someone happened to hurt you, don't worry. They're going to get their own karma. Because their behavior, their motives, their actions that may have hurt you, they didn't go unseen by the King of Swords. And he will hand out a judgment. Yes, he will. Bottom of the deck, we had the Three of Cups yet again. So I definitely want you guys to be careful. Make sure you're not overdoing it in regards to alcohol or drugs. Although I feel that most of you guys will definitely rein this in and bring it under control. So it's okay, you know, to have a drink here and there. But, you know, we don't want to completely try to numb ourselves and then stay like that. But, yeah, I mean, this is definitely, I feel like this situation is definitely echoing off of your recent past. So basically from your January reading, and it's just completing here in February. So it's kind of like the situation continues. So for some of you, you definitely want to be careful. Because sometimes under this energy, not only can this be a card of gossip, but this can be a card of perhaps maybe you open your mouth and you say too much, which can bring on a shocking situation that unfolds. But see, the King of Swords, oh, wow. When it comes to verbal assaults, the King of Swords will give you a verbal lashing like you ain't never had. So be careful. especially if it's you that has, overstepped and made some pretty horrible comments. Do your best to apologize and make things right. Set the record straight the best you can. But I feel that most of you are on the receiving end of this. And for those of you on the receiving end, like I said, don't worry. All will be taken care of. You may not get to see it, but you can rest assured that they will be dealt with. Whoever this person is that wronged you, they will be dealt with. But this was a karmic type of situation, and it's meant for us to learn so that we can move forward with greater awareness. And like I said, this is always a blessing in disguise. It may not feel like a blessing when it gets ushered in, but I'm telling you, it turns into a blessing. And to know that you got the King of Swords ready to defend you, the King of Swords has your back, you're all right, you're going to be okay. You will be okay. And for those of you who may have a issue within the court system, you will win. Okay? And you will make it through this unexpected situation that's quite shocking. And just remember, victory through adversity, my Virgos. Oh yes, victory through adversity. You can do it. Okay, I pulled some love oracle cards, but I'm not going to clarify them this month. But we still have some, so here we go. Wow. Okay. Yeah. First one. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. You'll know which ones resonate with you and which ones don't. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Is it safe for you to love? Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And I think that's very good advice to end this reading. You do have people around you that are willing to help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You guys do so much to help everyone around you. Don't be afraid to ask those people to help you, because they will.
February 27th. And we have one more day of this hot burning Aries moon in the sky until the moon grounds in Taurus tonight at 11:29 p.m. Pacific time. So this hot day today, there are some big choices to be made today and some serious real world shifting happening as our relationships are really asked to evolve and transform, and some boundaries to be put up in our relationships because Venus is squaring Pluto tomorrow. So we're really starting to feel that today as the moon squares Pluto and Saturn as well. So this means there is some heavy lifting going on today, as well as some deep transformation of our relationships. And this can really end up in some power struggle energy, Venus squaring Pluto. This is our relationships and our values and what we love, and it's being asked to transform and to go deep. And so there's a tendency for obsessive energy and controlling and manipulating. So let's use this energy to evolve and to transform our relationships, to go deep, to make commitments, to draw some boundaries, and we can really use it this way. Or it could be quite a fight today. If you want to fight today, and tomorrow as well. So lots of deep breaths, and the moon squaring Pluto and Saturn today. This is us building and growing strong in the real world. So if you are feeling heavy with the weight of the world and all of your duties and obligations and responsibility, and they're heavy on your back like a brick backpack, well, that's what's happening today. So this is where we grow strong. We stand strong in our own alignment, and we don't lean out into somebody else's. That's where we're going to get into trouble. So just standing strong in our own selves. Focus on the self. Focus on the deep work that you're doing today and transforming in your relationship to yourself and making some boundaries for yourself and doing this heavy lifting with good alignment. Because if we do heavy lifting when we're out of alignment, we're not helping our bodies, right? So that's a metaphor for everything as well as our physical bodies. This is a great day for strength training because we really build some strength, especially tonight when the moon squares Saturn at 7:24 p.m. Pacific time. So it's a beautiful day for growth and for getting a lot done and transforming your relationship with yourself. So I hope you have a beautiful day today, friend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.